Alrighty, welcome back. What's going on, sister?
What have you been up to? What's your dating life like? Who are you talking to? And don't spare any details. Tell them.
Well, currently, I'm not really dating anybody, but
So tell them what's up. What'd you do yesterday?
since the last time that we saw you, um, Miss Kana over here went on a date, and I decided that I was gonna have my baby daddy come over. That's what we call him because he has multiple children.
We don't
And
call him that. I call him by his actual name because I've known him for so long.
oh, that's right, they have known each other for a very long time. But yeah, I just call him baby daddy,
Because he has 3 babies with 3 different mamas
something like that.
and an ex-felon.
Matter of fact, I know how to pick him for sure.
Who's the other one
What other one?
that you've been seeing recently?
I'm not seeing anyone else recently.
Really?
Oh.
Just don't lie. You don't tell them, I will. You should tell them. So this podcast is about, we should be honest.
I don't know which one we're talking about, so
You know exactly who I'm talking about. So there used to be this guy that I was talking to for like a good year and a half.
oh, we're going there. That's the first episode?
My sister is so funny. She comes up to me like literally a month ago, maybe longer. She goes, "Have you talked to this guy before?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, he messaged me literally yesterday, the night before, asking me to hang out." And she goes, "Oh, well then like I won't like ha 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 ha, you know." Come to come to find out, like a week later, she does.
Does what?
Fucks him.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
They're all sneaky because they know it's wrong and weird because he used to be in my bed literally a year and a half ago. And now he's in her bed, which is so weird, like straight down the hallway. Anyways, I heard them fucking. I have the voice memos. If you want them, leave it in the comments. Voice memos, photos, videos. I have the whole 9 yards. So, mind you, we got in a big fight over it because I was like, girl, that's weird. And other people would agree. Most of our friends do. Like, do what you want, right? And
Right?
I'm not like for it or anything because
Mhm.
like he wants a top and I'm not that. However, um, it's just weird. The girls that get it, get it. The girls that don't, don't. The girls that don't are the girls sitting over here. The girls that get it are the girls sitting over here. Um, yeah, so we got in like a huge fight. We didn't talk for literally almost a full week because
Yeah,
it was fucking weird.
yeah.
And then we kind of started talking again. I don't know. I don't think the trust will ever be there again, but you know,
Yeah, we did start talking. We were doing so good for a whole week until
until she fucked him again while I was in the shower. And she only told me because I was like, ma'am, what have you been doing? And she was like, I've
no.
been being bad. Yeah, you were sitting on the couch downstairs.
I was sitting on the couch downstairs and she came in and she told me that she was talking to one of my exes. Well, not even ex, but like someone that I was actually dating.
You went on 2 dates and he told you he didn't want anything to do with you anymore and then he liked me. Not my problem. I only did it because one backstabbing bitch deserves another one, right? A tit for tat, girly. I'm a match girl energy for life. You give
Anyways,
what you get. No,
I thought that we were good.
I'm not done. I'm not done. You're painting a different picture. And I'll hold up the canvas, but you got to paint the truth. You know what I'm
Right, right.
saying?
Matter of fact, okay.
So, anyways, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm talking to this guy." Had she never would have known about it unless I had been, but I was honest
You
because
were.
that's the type of person that I am. Anywho, she would have
Yeah.
never known about it unless I said something. I could have been completely discreet and done the same exact thing, but I go by girl code. I'm not that girl. So, anyways, I told her about it and I was like, "What have you been doing? Like, what have you been up to?" And she was like, "Oh, well, I fucked so and so while you were in the shower." And I was like, "Girl, I know. I saw his little t shirt coming up the stairs." And I was like, "I wonder who that is." Funny enough, she made him park down the street because she knew I would know, which
I
I'm a
did.
Virgo. I already know. So, of course, I was like, "What'd you do? Make him park down the street so I wouldn't see him?" And she goes, and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Girl, you could have just had him park out front. Like, at this point, I already fucking know about it." And yeah. So those are the 2 main ones for her.
Yeah. So long story short, now we're gonna have a threesome with him.
No, absolutely not. I hold myself to a higher standard than that.
You know what's funny? He actually texted me the other the other day. Actually, it was yesterday.
That's so cool. You know who texted me? Just kidding.
And was just like, what are you up to? Like, da da da. And I was just like, I know it is hot. I was like, oh, Kana and I are filming like a podcast, da 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 da. Or I said we're filming something, and he was like, what are you filming? Every time that I'm like, oh, I'm filming or I'm doing content, men are always just like, go straight to the OF. They're like, oh, you're filming content, da da da. And I'm like, get your mind out of the freaking gutter. You are so silly. But no, I was just like, yeah, we're filming a podcast, da, da, da. And he's like, yeah, I'm sure that's what it was. And I was like, you would like it if it was something else, huh? And he was like, yeah. So I was just like, oh, that's funny because earlier you said that would be weird if we had a threesome, but now you're like into it if me and my sister are doing something
And if we're
weird.
filming it?
And we're, that's girl, that's a whole other thing.
But I'm like, what are we filming? Him being a bottom bitch and what? Me sitting in the corner like a cuckold?
No, matter of fact.
No thanks.
No, literally. Anyways, so
I'm more in my like pink girl era, not my brown girl era. You know what I mean?
what's the pink girl era? Tell me more.
Like I want pink, not brown.
And what does that mean?
The girls that get it. The girls that don't. It means I'd like my assholes bleached, not dingleberry residue.
Well, you would know.
Girl, we both would. Men, if you're watching, clean your fucking asses.
Clean your ass. I don't understand. It's like they literally don't want to like wash down there or like even under the balls. Like I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you washing?
Who doesn't do that? I've never experienced that's insanity.
No, literally
You're still
insanity.
fucking them?
No.
Oh, girl.
So yeah, that was what is up with me recently. Yes, I essentially fucked my sister's ex. Hey, they were not currently talking though, okay?
I
So
told you we were talking the day before. He asked me to hang out.
he asked you to hang out the day before?
Girl, we talked about this already. You're such a dumb, conniving little fucking bitch. Don't pretend like you don't fucking know when we've had this conversation literally 8 times. But you like to hear what you want to hear so you don't look as bad when it comes to being in person and on camera.
Not with the girl. I'm gonna have to cut that whole thing because you have his name in there.
You get the point. But also, one of the things is it's like he's definitely only looking for hookups. And if you're easy, you're easy. If you're not, you're not. And I'm not. So I only
Really? What was last night?
I only fuck people I actually want to fuck.
Okay. Anyways, apparently I'm easy.
Well, yeah. You gave him what I didn't want to give him.
But that's because you're not into that. Regardless. And I'm honestly not into that really either. So
Except for she's done it multiple times at this point.
here's the thing, you guys. The dating pool in Utah, especially for us girlies, is not the biggest, I would say. And as my sister says, just make it bigger. But I can't do that unless I'm like flying out of the country, you know, or going to LA. That's a
I
whole
didn't
nother.
say make it bigger.
You did literally say that. But
No, I said it could be bigger. You just need to stop dipping in the same pool that I do. There's lots of men out there. There's lots of men that fetishize us.
no,
That
100%.
love us.
Oh, yeah. And they
you
all
know?
want us to do things together.
Yeah.
That's why we are a
It's not
package
no,
deal.
it's not where I'm going with this.
Oh.
I'm going with like,
Right.
you know, why fuck the same men that I've talked to when like you can fuck others. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, so the pool is small, and because of that, we have run into the same men more than once, many times, matter of fact.
Some too many where I'm like, what are you doing? Like, is this actually all you do?
And who else too? Because if we were really like picking and looking at all of our other friends, I'm like, oh, you probably talked to this person and this person and this person too. Probably fucked all of us, matter of fact. We just don't know about it. Thank God we don't.
And some of you bitches are scary. You move weird.
Moral of the story. I guess we should bring it up. We were talking to the same guy. I was talking to him for like 2 weeks. Let's just call him
Michael.
Michael. Okay, so I was talking to him for like 2 weeks and it was pretty like he was from the East Coast. He's moving here, right? That's like the preface for a job. And conversation was going really well. You know what I do love is when someone snaps and texts me, like the double conversation where it's like, okay, I'm talking to you on Snap and
I hate that.
oh no, I love it.
I'm like, fucking pick one.
No, I like both.
I'm also just not a Snap girly, but I tell them
That
previously, like,
part.
if you add me on Snap, like, you're gonna be waiting for 3 to 6 business days because I will not respond.
Yes. Anyways, it was going really well until the day before I went back home to visit my family for like Thanksgiving. So this is recent.
Mind you, this is also the day she fucked that guy that I used to talk to.
No,
The day before.
no.
Yeah,
It was the day before I
it
went. It
was.
was the day
Yeah.
before I went home. Yes,
I'm the
I
one who
did.
has the memory
Actually, matter
here.
of fact, I did that. I did
And
the
then
21-year-old
the
and
baby
the baby
daddy.
daddy in the same day. If you're watching these, sirs, do not judge me.
We listen and we don't
We
judge.
listen and we yeah.
I look and I fucking judge. Anyways, back to Michael.
Back
So you fuck both those guys, go on vacation to visit your family.
and I'm still talking to him and he was in the same state that I was in, essentially. Um, when I was on vacation. So we're like talking about possibly meeting up, da da da. And like talked on the phone a couple times.
Yeah, he wanted you to extend your stay so you
Yeah.
could come stay with him at an Airbnb.
Yes.
You decided not to
I decided not to.
and
Yeah.
come home at the time you were supposed to come home.
Yeah. So I came home. He came here like I came home and then Kana's like saying some things that are like very specific details about this person. And I was just like, wait, how do you know about like that or that he was in, you know, the army? Or
No, it was, I brought up the conversation because I was like, guess who I'm talking to?
yes, that's how she
Because
brought it up.
I'm a tit for tat girl, right? The petty in me is tit for tat. Normally I don't, but with the recent events that have happened in our lives, I decided for the lore, it would be such a good idea to, our pool's small.
Mm-hmm.
They like you, they like me.
Mm-hmm.
So I came home and I was like, oh my God, like, um, so I come home and she's like in the kitchen and I was like, guess who I'm talking to? And she was like, who? And I was like, Michael. She was like, no, shut the fuck up. So I name where he's from, like where he grew up and where he's currently staying before he ends up moving here.
Yeah.
And she goes, no, the fuck you're not. And I was like, yeah, the look on her face, priceless. Normally I do it as like jokes, like, ha ha ha, look who I'm talking to, like,
Well,
blah, blah, blah.
you know, when we first started doing this, it was more so like I got your back type meet girl because I'm gonna like get some information out of this person. Do you know what I mean? Like with that one guy that you went on the hiking or the camping trip with type beat. And
Oh,
I
yes.
was just like, okay. And then she took my phone and then we were like getting information out of him. That's a whole nother story. But like, but
Military men, what do you do?
oh, that part.
And as a girl, as a doll, you get the vibes.
Oh, yeah. The military men,
The religious, yeah.
oh, they fucking love it. Well, especially if they're like with a whole bunch of like men 24/7, like they're probably doing something with them. You know what I mean? So
Oh.
type beat. So then like, oh, they'll get
Yeah.
like the best of both worlds type beat.
Yeah.
Not that you need to know that, but
I
okay.
do not align with your stink ass. Um, anyways, so yes, we have done that before because, you know, it happened. Well, and I also went on this date with this guy one time who also liked her on Hinge and was like booty pretty much, but he literally is so irrelevant or irrelevant. It's not even worth talking about his name or him as a person at all. But you get the gist. It's very much if they like one, they like the other. If not, everyone else in our doll group that we also know is probably commingling.
Oh, 100%. No, I would always ask my other friends if they've talked to them, and I would say 9 times out of 10, they have.
Hmm.
But actually they haven't because a lot of them are younger too, so they're like, "Oh my god, that person's way too old," and I'm like, "You're literally a child." So, thank God, but, like,
Wish we could say the same. Uh,
I know you have been going for a lot younger
so have
recently.
you.
Just the one.
Just the one for me. The other ones are like 26. And the one I went on a date with recently was 31. So mind your business. Anyways, so Michael, yeah, I pretty much just like laid out I was like, this is the information he's given me, right? And so she goes, "Oh my God, like, what have you guys been talking about?" And obviously, me being a little like, ha ha ha, aloof, like, I'm not going to tell you, but like, I want you to like
Think about it.
think about it and grasp for the straws. She like kept being like, "Yo, what are you guys talking about? Like, what's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, he's just like, we're just like having a normal conversation, like getting to know each other, you know." So of course, she flips the motherfucking script and
Yes, I do.
messages him, and it's pretty
I
much
do.
like, we're combing, like, you're talking to my sister. You need to not fucking talk to my sister. Meanwhile, he's talking to me
Yes.
in my bedroom while she's talking to him in her bedroom.
And he says, quote unquote, that he is latched onto me at this point. I'm like,
Haven't heard
okay,
from
so
him.
that part. Latched onto me. But you're talking and swiping with other, like talking to other people on dating apps. You're talking to my sister, who, mind you, the day before we sent multiple pictures to him. Like we were on like a little canyon drive. We are being also cutesy. And I was like, ooh, like picture of me and my sister. He's like, who's that? Da, da, da. I'm like, it's my sister.
Which is funny because we had already matched and we're already talking. Because we were talking while you were coming back from your vacation.
Right. I'm in this situation, like I'm not mad at you at all. Like there's nothing.
And I would never, because girl code. I was just doing it for the jokes.
You guys, I actually met up with this guy and I did hook up with him and he's as cute as his pictures. That's a thing. Ooh, that was a rough one. That's a rough one. Because I would say 9 times out of 10, men just take bad pictures and then they're like better in person. This was not that
Oh,
case. But
crazy thing is because the same night that he flew in, I
mhm,
was talking to a guy who was also flying in from the
flying
East
in,
Coast.
yes.
And so we both kind of like had our own things that night. Both horrible. Both not worth it.
Wait, that's the one who came over and was like, was no, 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 that was a
No, that
different
was the
day.
day before.
Oh yeah. Fuck. Yeah, we are whores. Okay. So anyways, long
I'm not a
story
whore. I'm just like, the men don't live up to what they fucking talk about.
that
Like, you guys
part.
talk a good game, but in person,
Oh,
what the fuck are
100%.
you doing?
No,
I mean, half
100%.
the time, especially recently, I've been like, like, no, because you either can't
Uh-huh.
or it's just not my fucking vibe.
No, the men
Like, get
recently
the
have
fuck out.
not been giving it at all.
Mhm.
I've had like one in this past year that I'm like, fuck yeah, you gave the whole package, like the looks, the body, the like the chemistry, like outside of the sheets,
Yeah.
in person or whatever. And then they just flip it on you.
Which is
And they're
crazy.
like, just kidding, I'm not actually not into you. You know?
Ugh,
That's very Utah though. Very Utah.
yeah.
Where they like give you the whole fantasy and then
Well, and it's one of
they
those where,
rip
like,
it out.
you hang out for the first time and you're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, like, where are we going? Like, what's going on?" They're like, "Oh, you know, like, I don't know. What do you want to do?" And I'm like, "You didn't have this already planned out?" They're like,
No,
"No,
what
we
the
can just
fuck?
hang out, maybe watch a movie." I'm like, "Fuck
What the
that.
fuck?
I can watch a movie with my sister by myself and we have the best
Literally.
time.
Oh, 100%.
Why would I do that with you?
Exactly. I
Because
don't
you
wanna
want to get
hang
your dick
out.
wet?"
No.
No.
I'm bored. And you can't even like,
You can't even please me right. So what's the fucking point?
yeah. So men who can actually step up to the game, please step
The
forward.
only
Come
guy
here.
I will say I've ever been actually attracted to, like, fully attracted to. We
Right.
never did anything except for
Isn't that
kiss.
interesting?
But literally think about him all the time. Actually, I'm not going to say that. Cut that out.
No, I'm
I
cutting it
think
out.
about
Don't
him
worry.
from time to time,
From time to
wondering how
time,
he's doing. I don't think
yeah, the
about that when,
holidays, like the
yeah,
Christmas message, like, hey, how you doing? Hope you have a good Christmas. Hope your daughter's having a good.
so sweet of me. It's my Pisces rising in me. I can't help it. Anyways, yes, I do. But it's also like a two play. You know what I mean? It's because I'm also like, I do actually care, right? But
Yeah,
on the flip side, I'm like, what are you doing? I want you to think about me type energy. And it's almost our 1 year. So
valid. I have a side note. This is a question that I was just thinking about. Would you ever date a fan? Like someone who's like watches our podcast or just us in general?
that's a hard one because, yes, I feel like I would. Because if you're watching, like if you're watching this specifically,
Yeah,
you would know more about who I am as a person.
yeah.
And ultimately, I feel like treat me better knowing that prior to us. dating or, seeing each other.
I
I
agree.
wouldn't, however, because of also that reason. Like, I don't want you to know everything about me to the point where, some of my past comes up because
Yeah.
there's definitely things I want to keep hidden in the closet. Some skeletons I don't want seen. And not in a bad way, but just in like a growth way.
Yeah.
I feel like we're definitely in our era of habitually dating,
Mhm.
but also learning a lot about what we're actually attracted to,
Yeah.
what is actually in alignment with who we are. So, yes, ultimately open to it. Ideally,
Mhm.
no, but I feel like if there's no judgment, I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't specifically go for someone who like literally is infatuated with me or wants to date me because they
Right.
like the content or
'Cause
because
that's just a
they
part of us. Like, it's not, like,
yeah,
really who we are, like, we're putting on a persona kind of.
this
This
is
is
like 3%.
this is 3%. I feel like we're fine we are
We're
telling the
telling the
truth,
truth,
but I
but
do also feel like, when I'm on camera, for example, like, it's a little bit more Leo, you know what I mean? I'm not,
I
like,
think it's
always like
also
that. Uh,
perspective, like I don't want someone to get the wrong idea based off of what we're doing for a camera,
like, spreading those
because
legs.
obviously this is no, ma'am, why do you always
Because
take
it's
it there?
funny.
I'm having a real
I'm
conversation and you want to take it to fucking OnlyFans.
It's just for the entertainment.
See, but this is
I'm
what I
totally
don't want. I don't want to date someone because they're like, you spreading
I'm totally
your
fucking
legs.
joking with you.
Yes, I'm open to it. No, I wouldn't just because
Right.
of those reasons. And I don't want someone to strictly date me because of this version of me.
Yeah,
So I think ultimately I'd want you to have no social media. I want you to have
I
which
love
is who, the one I've
yeah,
actually ever been into and
I
attracted
love
to,
that.
doesn't have any. And I love that. I'm like, I want you to literally
Oh,
not
yeah,
know who I am. And all the guys I feel like because we've been talking
for
about
a
doing this
year.
podcast
Oh
for
oh, year and a half,
year
yeah.
and a half probably, like a long time, and then we started it
Yeah,
a year
and the
almost
first
a year
episode
ago.
was all about this man. Oh,
First episode
but it was
actually was
deleted.
all about
Yeah.
this because we had just
Mhm,
gone on a date. Yeah, or 2 dates. And yes, so it got deleted. We decided
mhm.
to scrap that, and so now we're just starting
Right.
over with this coming year.
A
Because a
lot
lot
has
has
happened.
happened
Oh,
in 12
100%.
months. Some backstepping, some forward steps,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, I think it's just a new
Mhm,
era for us in finding out the good and the bad of other people, but also
mhm.
for ourselves, what our vices definitely are when it comes to men. I think specifically because we have been focusing our hobbies around dating men.
I
And I
agree.
don't okay, here's the thing, is I think we're both very lover
Very
girl
much.
energies, very into
Oh my
the
god, no, like, if I could
romance.
be, like, cooking for my mans and, like, I like, that whole like,
Oh, I would create 6 fucking meals, 6 courses. Like, you would be
wined
wined
and
and
dine, I
motherfucking
wanna give
dined. You
you a
wouldn't have to
massage
worry
when you
about
get
a
home
thing
from
in your
work,
life.
like, I
Yep.
wanna literally wash
Mhm.
your body in the shower, like, I want to literally do all those things,
And then bend me over the counter while I bake you a cookie. Like,
and the biggest mistake is doing that for men who literally don't give you shit.
that's the thing. We just had it. So we have like slight conversations prior to, I mean, just about our everyday life multiple times a day. And I think that's where we come up with most of the topics in which we're going to talk about on here moving forward. So we talked about pretty much men giving us literally nothing and what we're giving versus what we're getting. Like if we're
Mhm.
doing the scales, right? Like I'm putting a feather down, you're
Right.
giving me a brick.
Weighing me down, matter of fact.
And also feathers are cute, bricks are not. You know what I mean? So I think it's just a whole bunch of us being romantic and ideally seeking
Mhm.
the same thing in the wrong
Right.
places with the wrong men, which we kind of know prior to
Oh,
going into
always.
it, is this is not someone I'm going to be with long term. This is not something I want
There's
for
always, like, 1
myself.
or 2, like, red flags, like, right in the beginning, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Fuck," and if I was actually listening to them, I'd never go on a fucking date. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's also one of those things where if we were out in public and we had actually met in
Oh,
person, I wouldn't even had a like
right.
glance twice. I wouldn't have even
Yeah.
given them my
No,
name.
that is so true.
I wouldn't say we're desperate. I think with the pool
Yeah.
being so small in Utah, it's one of those things that you never know anyone's true intentions, right? So, like, you could have the best intentions going into something, or you do like the person or am hopeful that, this could be different than the rest. 98% of the time, it's not. It's the same cycle, it's the
Mhm.
same thing, same
Oh,
outcome, really. Even if it's great, for you, it's always for them
we're giving them the fantasy, and we're just getting the same shit over and over. Crumbs, not
crumbs,
even
not even.
now, not like, next episode maybe, or one of the episodes in the future, we have to talk about our, like, experiences when we're in LA, because that is, like, a whole different vibe. Still kind of crazy, but at least I'm getting sexy. You know what I mean? Like, the men there are, like, on another level of, like, mm, daddy.
Yeah, Utah dating pool,
Mhm.
horrible,
Trash.
trash. Not even just for us
Yeah.
trans
No,
girls, but all of
everyone.
our.
It's trash for everyone. Like, there's the ones that are, like, giving us the fantasy, and then they, like, completely flip because they have that, like, religious trauma or whatever the fuck it is. Or they're beneath us, and they want us so badly, and they would literally give anything to be with us, but we would never be with them because they're not of our caliber, or they can't give us the things that we want. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're on a different level, like, financially, physically, like, all the things. And then I feel like there's the guys that just literally are just straight for hookups, and they're, like, not even ashamed about that.
Which I'm totally fine with, but be honest about it. Majority of the time, it's, "I wanna treat you right, I wanna treat you nice," like, and any girls who get this it's the preemptive, like, "Oh, I want you to, like, come home," or, like, "I want you to spend Thanksgiving with me," or,
Oh my god.
like, "I've been telling my family about you." You girls get it. Especially in Utah, I feel like it's a huge thing of, "Yeah, like, I just, really care about you." And then literally the next day, they'll text you 3 large
3 large
paragraphs
paragraphs, yep.
being like, "Hey, like, I really like you, but," and, like, "you're a cool person, and, like, we mesh really well. I enjoy spending time with you." Okay. So what's
Yeah.
the fucking problem? But then they follow up with, "I just don't know if I'm ready," or, "I just have a lot going on in my life. I just got out of a recent breakup, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, "Well, just be honest." And honestly, what you should have done is prior to that is told me everything that's going on in your life and the baggage in which you're carrying so I can make the decision for myself if I want to continue to see you or not.
Amen, sister.
That goes a longer way than you pissing me the fuck off afterwards. And I think had you been more honest, I would have treated you better
Mhm.
after the fact.
I feel like too, like, because of that, and we experience it literally every single time, just like that. Honestly, I feel like that is what has caused me to be in this era of, like, stupidity and man-eater and just not giving a fuck. You know what I mean?
I think it's before they devour me, I will devour them
That is what the
mentality.
podcast is about.
I'm in my era of, which is so toxic, and I know you people are probably like, "You should see a therapist for this," but I don't because I'm very
Yeah,
well aware of it. I know what I'm doing.
exactly.
I know the ways in which is
Mhm.
problematic and bad,
I'm here to support your
but
delusions, honestly.
I'm gonna be a step ahead of you this time. So, if you wanna play me, don't pretend like I'm this naive, like, girl who's, like, who's desperate and, like, looking for love, because that is not me.
She
Little
was
do
on Love
you
Island.
know, I'm giving you I'm I'm giving you the fantasy because I'm gonna rip it away from you.
The amount of men that actually fall in love with my sister, like, I can't even have a man even fucking text me back, but the men that they fall in love with her, it's, like, forever.
You know what's crazy? 2 of them texted me last night.
I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm, like, too guarded or maybe I'm too I don't know what it is. Not saying that not
I think it's the
it's the
Pisces
Pisces energy.
energy
It's, like,
within me.
ultra
I
feminine.
The
Yeah.
ultimate dreamy. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm just very natural, like, I go into a lot of my dating experiences as, I want to create you as my best friend, I don't even wanna date you.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
I don't wanna date you, I wanna be your friend.
Ooh, I like that. I feel like this is a good end to our podcast.
So, honestly, in the future, don't go dating, don't date in Utah, be friends with someone and then fall in love. think that's your best bet. And don't settle.
Or you'll regret it.
That's so stupid.
Sorry.
Don't settle. You'll regret it. We're getting that merch coming out.
No, on the devoured.com, which I will be making soon.
So ultimately, just the dating pool's hard, especially if you're adults like us. But just be true to who you are. Be honest. Ask a lot of questions.
Yes, ask questions.
If they are uncomfortable with answering them, you know your
Let's
answer.
make a freaking book of questions that they can ask people, because my sister has like she always asks all the questions.
Purposeful questions.
Let's make a book called Purposeful Questions. Boom. That's already taken, bitch. So don't try to take it from us. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and we'll see you in the next podcast. Share this with your friends so we can go get our boob jobs. Thank you. Love you. And we'll see you next time on Devoured.